The film begins with Delilah, a female CIA agent working under the code name Banshee, discussing with her female boss the mistakes of her father, Jeremy, and his companion Caleb during a mission. They are accused of disclosing a key American secret to the Russians. The CIA employed Anthony Green, a fierce former Special Forces operative, to take them out. In the subsequent encounter, Green fatally shot Jeremy, but Caleb flee, leaving his whereabouts unclear, and the CIA continues to search for him. Delilah's supervisor, knowing that Jeremy is her father, suspects her of being a traitor like him. However, Delilah disagrees, prompting her to leave the CIA in order to learn the truth about her father's deeds. Fast forward 5 years, and Delilah, now a professional assassin, collaborates with Kronos, a technology expert, on her assignments. They make a powerful team, with Delilah excellent at escaping guards and achieving her goals. During a mission, Delilah is surprised to learn that her target has been apprehended by Green and his team. In an unexpected turn of events, Green offers a deal. He will free her target if she captures Caleb. The payout for this work is set at $1 million, which is the same amount she was scheduled to receive for her first mission. However, Delilah cannot accept with Green's proposal because Caleb is one of her closest friends. In reaction, Green turns his attention to Delilah, but she manages to flee after confronting several of Green's thugs. Kronos comes to her rescue, sharing information on the enemy's whereabouts and advising her on how to avoid them. Meanwhile, Green, understanding Delilah has escaped, orders his men to identify the person supporting her behind the scenes. While traveling home, Delilah recalls wonderful experiences she had with her father and Caleb in the past. Delilah chooses to aggressively seek Caleb's help in dealing with Green, who has been chasing her for 5 years. During that time, Delilah contacted Kronos for assistance in locating Caleb. It didn't take long for Kronos to locate Caleb's home in a remote village and discover that Jeremy's pal is now working at a bar. Caleb was the only one in the house, according to Delilah. She was taught a variety of talents, which helped her develop into a skilled assassin. When she saw Caleb in the bar where he worked, she told him that Green was still after him. Delilah advised they band together to confront Green, who constituted a threat to both of them. Following their chat, Caleb invited Delilah to his home, where he resided with his daughter Haley after losing his wife a few years ago. When Delilah arrived at Caleb's residence, Haley was reluctant to welcome her and even pointed a gun at her. Caleb had to intercede to calm his daughter before inviting Delilah inside their home. Meanwhile, Kronos was playing online poker when he received an unexpected gift. Green and his group approached unexpectedly, urging Kronos to aid them in capturing Delilah and Caleb. They threatened Kronos with harm if he refused. Kronos, feeling cornered, reluctantly decided to help Green. Haley was still skeptical of Delilah when she returned to Caleb's place for dinner. Caleb had invited Delilah over to make sure she didn't cause trouble. During mealtime, Haley harassed Delilah with questions, irritating Caleb to the point where he finally banished her to her room. Despite her outraged mood, Haley ultimately left Caleb and Delilah alone, and Delilah seized the opportunity. When Delilah confronted Caleb about her father's death at the hands of Green, he seemed hesitant to divulge the narrative, and suggested that she approach Green directly for answers. Unsatisfied with this reaction, Delilah became even more eager to face Green and reveal the truth about her father's death, which looked to be veiled in secret by the C.I.A. Caleb declined to help Delilah against Green, expressing fears about Haley's safety. Instead, he gave over documents linked to the incident that resulted in Jeremy's death, reminding Delilah of the mission he and her father had completed for the C.I.A. Caleb and Jeremy had previously unexpectedly encountered a wealthy girl who requested their protection due to her fear of a dangerous mafia outfit. Caleb was initially apprehensive, but later agreed to aid when he realized the serious threat posed by the mafia and the girl's possession of critical secret knowledge. His commitment was to prevent sensitive data from slipping into criminal hands. As morning neared, Delilah remained engaged in the files provided by Caleb. Pondering the odd absence of her father's body, which had yet to be located, she began to consider the possibility that her father was still alive and eluding capture by Green. When Caleb learned of Delilah's concerns, He confirmed that Jeremy had died but declined to reveal the details of his death. Instead, he suggested Delilah contact Green for further information. During their talk, Haley appeared unexpectedly, leading Caleb to leave immediately for work. Concerned about the threat posed by Green and his associates, Caleb left his daughter in the care of Delilah. His concerns were validated. Green and his crew were on their way to Caleb's house after successfully tracking down Delilah with Kronos' help. While Caleb was at work, Delilah resumed examining mission files, which detailed the previous schemes she and Jeremy had developed to protect a wealthy woman. Their goal had been to assure her eventual transfer to the C.I.A. for increased security. Despite her concentration on the mission files, Delilah persisted in her search for answers to Jeremy's death in the present. As she got tired, she took a breather and looked through some previously family photos of Caleb. As she absorbed herself in the images, Haley approached Delilah, still suspicious of her presence in their home. Delilah attempted to calm Caleb's daughter by stating that her intentions towards Caleb and her were absolutely innocent. Meanwhile, Caleb noticed 3 odd people in his workplace, a pub. Caleb recognized one of them as a member of Green's crew and immediately phoned Delilah, cautioning her that they were under watch. He alerted her of the potential threat, implying that the group might be approaching their home. After finishing his talk with Delilah, Caleb locked the bar's door and faced the trio of suspicious customers. Back at home, Delilah had just ended a phone discussion with Caleb when she observed an armed group approaching his home. In response, Delilah told Haley to hide in a chamber, preferring to confront the oncoming party and stall them until Caleb returned. Caleb was already dealing with Green's cronies in the bar. Delilah found herself outnumbered and powerless to stop Green's men from entering the house. When 2 of Green's men discovered where Haley was hiding, they intended to harm her, but Caleb arrived just in time to save her. Unfortunately, he was shot in the chest and forced to die. On the other hand, after successfully defeating the remaining members of Green's crew, Delilah confronted a distraught Haley, who was deeply disturbed by her father's condition. Delilah participated in the grief, especially because Caleb had been more than just a friend. He had also been a mentor, teaching her several techniques that would help her become a proficient assassin. In his final moments, Caleb committed Haley to Delilah, instructing her to care for and prepare his daughter to protect herself against any attacks, knowing that Haley had become a target for Green. Delilah told Haley Caleb's full life story after he died in the backyard. Caleb, a former C.I.A. member, had been betrayed by the agency, forcing him to seek sanctuary in a remote and isolated region, away from people. Delilah told her how she, Caleb, and Jeremy were accused of betraying the C.I.A. They allegedly handed an American asset to Russia through a wealthy girl they were ordered to protect. To eliminate the imagined threat posed by Caleb and Jeremy, the C.I.A. recruited an assassination team commanded by Green. The agency's goal was to protect crucial data and remove Caleb, who had extensive knowledge of sensitive C.I.A. secrets. This measure was intended to prevent Caleb from becoming a possible threat by releasing important information to third parties at this vital moment. Delilah was targeted by Green and his men, and she expressed anxiety about a lack of enough resources and weapons to face her attackers. In response, Haley invited Delilah to Caleb's secret room, which had a variety of weapons to aid them in their fight against Green's men. Delilah, armed with a powerful armament, found fresh hope in challenging Green's pursuit. On another time, as Delilah and Haley were conversing, they were unexpectedly interrupted by the unexpected appearance of Green and his party. In response, Delilah and Haley developed their approach quickly, while Green's men used a drone outfitted with unique thermal technology to analyze the number of people within. Green exited the car and held Kronos captive after receiving a report showing only one person inside, whom he presumed was Delilah. Unfortunately, Green judged Kronos expendable and eliminated him. Within the confines of the house, Delilah, armed and prepared, considered killing Green to stop his progress. However, she hesitated, troubled by the knowledge that he alone knew the truth about her father's death 5 years ago. Outside, Green, biding his time, ordered his men to infiltrate the house and ambush Delilah, planning to monitor the situation from the safety of his car. Events took an unexpected turn when Delilah launched a preemptive attack as Green's men attempted to break into Caleb's house, ending in a heated shootout. Simultaneously, Haley entered the action, expertly dispatching many of Green's men from a high position upstairs. Despite her lack of military expertise, Haley was determined to defend her home and dissuade any attackers attempting to breach its fortifications. Delilah and Haley triumphed over all of Green's soldiers thanks to their exceptional collaboration. Green was surprised in the car to find that Delilah and Haley had defeated his team. In response, he ordered his less experienced female subordinate to enter the residence and try to ambush the two. Despite their reservations, these subordinates obeyed their superiors' directives. As the confrontation progressed, Haley faced off against Green's minions upstairs, while Delilah faced a difficult battle against Green himself. Although Haley's perseverance resulted in the defeat of Green's troops, Delilah continued to struggle with the strong Green, a critical time in which Delilah was in risk of being killed by Green. Haley intervened and shot Green, ending the threat. Delilah and Haley, visibly relieved, eventually defeated Green and his team, who had pursued them fiercely. It was later revealed that Haley held a desire to get revenge on the C.I.A. for her father's death. She begged Delilah to be her mentor, hoping to follow in her footsteps as an assassin. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.